The following is a News 12 Sports special presentation.
Welcome to the 1998 Augusta Futurity, featuring the Youth Finals. Brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, the most fun a dollar can buy. Now, here's your host, News 12 Sports Director Paul Davis.
You are looking at a live picture from the Augusta Civic Center. Can you believe it? It's that time of year again. Time for the prestigious Augusta Futurity, year number 19, and the oldest, one of the oldest horse events in all of the United States of America. Hi, everybody. I am Paul Davis, Sports Director of News 12, Channel 12, and once again, proud to be a part of this outstanding program. Tonight, we're on from 7 till 8 o'clock, and this is only the second day of the 19th Futurity, and already we're talking about championship finals tonight, the Area 18 Youth Scholarships, and in this broadcast for just 1 hour, you will see some of the kids who call this neck of the woods home. Joining me on the broadcast team tonight, a man who was with the program a couple of years ago. We gave him last year off. This is Mr. Tony Langdon. He hails from Dallas, Texas. And Tony, your name is recognized in futurity, in cutting circles. You know what it's like to be aboard a horse and go for that ride.
You bet I do. And it's certainly my pleasure to be back here in Augusta once again. It was a pleasure working with you a couple of years ago, and now we're back here for an exciting event. One thing you can always count on in Augusta, the dirt's orange, the walls are blue, and the cattle are always going to be a challenge. And this evening we've got the youth competition. I think you're going to see some wonderful horses here this evening. You're going to see some tremendous competitors, and these are the champions of tomorrow that are competing tonight.
Tony is a humble kind of a guy. Didn't mention the fact that he has been a finalist in various amateur classifications in this sport in Dallas and some of the biggies. And of course, I guess your favorite spot is, and for your competition standpoint, is here in Augusta.
Well, this is a tremendous event that is produced here in Augusta by the Atlantic Coast Cutting Horse Association. They have produced one of the premier events for many, many years now, and it's always a pleasure for us as competitors to arrive here in Augusta to be able to compete.
Also on the broadcast team tonight, Lachlan McLean tries to look like Clint Eastwood with the borrowed hat. Let's face it, Locke and myself are your bread and butter type sportscasters, but we love looking forward to the barrel horse racing and the futurity. And Locke is downstairs live. He'll be reporting from the paddock area. And Locke, if you can read me, go ahead and take it away.
Paul, I can read you. In fact, if I look up, I can see you. Paul's looking down at me. Paul's lucky because he's about 20 feet above me, so I don't think the smell is going to get that high. But we are right down in the middle of things right here in the staging area before the riders go out there to start their race. And there's 12 youngsters getting ready to go here tonight. They are all excited to go, and we're going to capture them after they finish their runs and capture their excitement and see how they rate their runs when they're done. So I'll be back down here talking to the contestants all night long. And here's the first one, Paul.
This is a very special person. This is Adam Kuntz. He's 14 years old. He hails from Belton, South Carolina. He is a two-time winner of this youth championship, and he's riding Lena Princess tonight. And Tony, I think the first thing we need to let the viewers know is this is the horses' night and not really the riders.
Well, actually, Paul, it's a combination of both. You can have a strong horse and a weaker competitor, but what you're going to see here this evening are 12 youth competitors that have made their way. They have qualified through year-long competition to participate in this event here this evening.
Lots of new-time viewers to the program tonight, and you've wondered what is the futurity, what is cutting. Let's take them through it very, very slowly. First off, Tony, it's a matter of a sport that began on the range, the Wild Wild West, many, many years ago, trying to separate a particular cow from a herd.
That's correct. And from that evolved the sport. As you can see, that was the first cow that he competed on. In his 2.5 minutes, generally, you'll see a competitor compete on 2 cattle, sometimes 3. They'll try to show you and demonstrate the horse. There's 5 judges this evening that will be judging this event. They're going to score each horse from 60 to 80 points. The high score, the low score will be omitted. You'll combine those other 3 scores for the total score. And we're probably expecting to see a score of about 220 that'll be winning here this evening.
225 would be the all-time, we've had some 225s in this arena, but that's doing awfully good. But it's a matter of the horse demonstrating control of the cow.
That's correct. And as you can see, Adam is having a little difficulty on his cuts. The first 2 cows that he cut, they were a little difficult for him to single those cows out in the center of the herd, or the center of the arena, which is what's most desirable.
Adam is 14. He's a 9th grader at Palmetto High School, 3-time finalist at the National Work-Offs in Jackson, Mississippi. We've talked about his championships here in this event in 95 and 97. He also plays football, baseball, and basketball. Again, showing off Lena Princess tonight. And there is your 2.5-minute sounding bell.
That was. This particular horse, Lena's Princess, was formerly owned by Billy Morris, and he was a champion here in the amateur event a few years ago in 1993. We're about to have our score being posted here.
And I believe that's a 202 if I read it properly. So Adam Kuntz starts things off tonight with a 202, and usually you like in the draw to go early on. You want to work with a fresh herd. You don't want to deal with what they call sour cattle, lackadaisical cattle. So Adam had an advantage there, getting the first spot.
Well, there is some advantages to drawing early in the herd. Obviously, first, someone's always going to have to be first. You're a little unfamiliar of what may happen in regards to the cattle that are going to be cut, but one thing that you're certain of is the cattle that you cut are going to be cut for the first time when you're early in a group.
All right, the pride and joy of Barnwell. This is Ashley Nix aboard Doctrinaire. Ashley, folks at home, is 10 years old. She's a 5th grader at Barnwell Elementary. She is the youngest participant in the Youth Scholarship Finals this year. This is her first year showing. Tony, right now, what's she trying to do?
What she's trying to do now is to separate one cow into the center of the arena, and she's going to hold that cow and demonstrate her horse to the best of both her and the horse's ability. This particular horse, Doctrinaire, has over $50,000 in lifetime earnings.
Can the rider do much by way of using the reins?
Well, no, that's going to be a penalty situation if they utilize the reins. What they're going to do is they're going to move through the herd of cattle, drive those cattle to the center of the arena. They're going to try to separate one cow and hold that cow for a period of time without the use of the reins.
All right, now she just did a good job on the first cow. She wants to try to at least cut one more before her time is up.
That's correct. And as she moves through the herd of cattle, she's going to try to find a cow that she feels like is going to best or give her best opportunity to demonstrate her horse to the best of its ability. She's separated one cow, or that she's down to 2.
And the riders do a good job coming into the arena, talking to the cowboys, the herd holders, and the turnback riders to find out which cattle to go after.
That's
right?
That's correct. That's correct. There's a lot of experience that goes into selecting cattle and the type of cattle that they'll feel will best give them their best opportunity to demonstrate that horse.
And the judges are watching for all sorts of infractions, but the worst of all would probably be if that cow got back to what they call the back fence, the fence right behind the herd there. That's a major penalty.
That's losing a cow, and that's a 5-point penalty. Now, one thing that you can notice as Ashley stopped working that cow and started back to the herd was that cow was turned away from her when she stopped or disengaged actually with that cow. That was a good run by Ashley.
Ashley Nix of Barnwell aboard Doctrinaire. She's only 10, and she wasn't ready to quit on that ride, was she?
No, actually, she's going to move right into the lead with that particular run.
And if I can read that properly, that's a 2:10. So for right now, Ashley Nix has the lead. We're going to be back with much, much more. The 19th Augusta Futurity. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
After 3 long years, the Fantasy 5 are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going,
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
they won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
I have arthritis, and I need fast relief when my hands get to hurting. So when my arthritis acts up, I go for the green Arthritis Strength BC powder.
Get back on the go for the green.
Arthritis pain can be tough. That's why I go for the green.
Go for the green.
Arthritis Strength BC powder. It's tough on arthritis pain.
To get back on the go for the green.
Why did this happen again? Why do we both have colds? And he's perky and I'm coughing and sneezing, just like last year. Like I didn't learn my lesson. Like if you take NyQuil at night, you can have a good morning. Why? Because last night I was going to take NyQuil, but he got to it first. And guess what happened? So he got relief and I didn't. So he got rest and I didn't.
Vicks NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
We're back live at the Civic Center, and Amanda Bales is now performing aboard Lucky Star Simbar. Amanda is from Gainesville, Georgia. And
her very first cut was nice and clean in the center of the arena, as you can watch her work here. A lot of action on this particular run so far.
Is that a back fence there?
No, that's a lost cow. That's a 5-point penalty.
And this championship night, you just can't afford any deduction for points.
Well, actually, for a championship run, you want a run that is free of penalties. In our judging system, we have 1, 3, and 5-point penalties, and losing a cow, that's a 5-point penalty.
Amanda is 18 years old. She's a 12th grader at North Hall High School. This is her first year to qualify, and the money that is up for grabs tonight would go into a fund that these kids could use when they pick the college that they want to attend. They must use the money won tonight. In first place, hauls in $2,000, but any money won tonight goes towards college. And now she's got a pretty spunky cow to deal with.
It's going to be very difficult for her to make up the loss of the cow and the penalty that was assessed in regards to that. But she is having a good run. This is unfortunate because she does have a good horse. But as I said, one thing you can always count on at Augusta is the fact that the cattle are going to be tough.
And I think we need, and I'm imagining lots of viewers out there, and then it's 2.5 minutes that they get to perform. But we're going to talk about what they're really trying to accomplish, Tony, besides maintaining besides making the cut. Maintaining the working advantage, and we'll be able to illustrate that. And that is a 182, so not a very good score. And again, there's judges, a high elevation for them. They're in a nice stand. They've got some replay machinery up there if they want to replay a particular performance or a ride and really make sure that they get everything right.
Well, actually, they have to mark the run as they see it right immediately or exactly at the conclusion of each run. Each 2.5-minute run, it's their responsibility to assess the value of that run. There are several situations that are credit-earning situations. One is to make your cuts clean and in the middle of the arena, to maintain control of that cow, and to have an overall, the overall appearance of the run to be one of control and to show the horse to the best of its ability.
Lachlan McLean is standing by live with somebody that he wants us to meet. I'm imagining it's someone who has just shown a horse. Lock, take it away.
Paul, we're here with Adam Kuntz, the first rider to go tonight, a 2-time champion of this Area U18 Youth Scholarship, but tonight a 202. Evaluate your run for it.
I wasn't as cool as I was last year and didn't cut my cows as good. And everything ain't always going to be, can't always do good, but she was good. I just didn't cut the kind of cows I did last year.
Now, this is last year's winner, in case folks didn't know. Do you like going first, or would you have rather waited a little longer?
I don't care as long as I get a show. It's all fine.
It's all fine. All right, well, that was Adam Kuntz. He posted a 202, puts him in second place right now, but he's a 2-time champ, so he certainly has gotten the job done in the past. Back to you, Paul.
And now we're going to see Ben Roberson from Belton, South Carolina, aboard Flash LaRue. Ben is 16 years old and still making that first, and you usually like to do what they call a deep cut.
Well, the deep cut is where a rider enters the herd and he drives a sufficient number of cattle to the center of the arena before selecting that one cow that he will actually separate and show his horse on.
Now, right here, Tony, tell the viewers the working advantage is what?
Well, the working advantage is the fact that he's away from the herd. He is maintaining that cow in the center of the arena. He is actually in control.
But did you see in that particular ride right there, Flash LaRue, and I used the word on television last night, and you get too technical in this sport and I think turn people off, but poise. That's the word I think of. The horse maintaining poise in its control of the cow.
Actually, that's exactly right. A lot of the horses that you're going to see compete this evening are older, more experienced horses. This is one of the youngest horses that'll be competing in the event tonight.
So now you've selected the cow that you want to cut. The cow is cut. You got to stay ahead of that cow, right, as the horse?
Well, actually, you want to mirror image that cow.
Okay.
You want to make the moves and mirror image. A parody would be the same as a basketball player guarding another player to keep him away from the basket.
And if you're guarding a basketball player and that player gets ahead of you and you're playing catch-up, then that's a problem, and that's where points are lost in this sport.
That's exactly right. That's going to take away from the overall appearance of the run. That's why I say you want to maintain control of the cow versus the cow controlling the run. Right now, Flash LaRue is having a little difficulty as he's trailing the cow. You want to head that cow and keep and maintain control of the cow and the run.
Ben Roberson of Belton, South Carolina, aboard Flash LaRue. He is 16, happy to be here. You heard Adam Coons talk about not being so concerned about his score, but just being in Augusta. And a 2:05 now is the score put up by Mr. Ben Roberson, who has a sibling performing a little bit later tonight on our show. We are lots more to show you here tonight as the 19th Augusta Futurity in day number 2. Stay tuned. This News 12 Sports exclusive continues after this.
Five are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going...
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
They won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
Witness a dazzling display of action and adventure at Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey. Hey kids, News 12 and Taco Bell invite all kids under 12 to save $2.50 on tickets to the show on Wednesday, February 4th at 4 o'clock. Stop by any CSRA Taco Bell and pick up your savings coupons today. Tickets are on sale now at the box office and all Ticketmaster outlets, or call to charge by phone. Join the kids show fun and savings at Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey, the greatest show on earth. Coming to Augusta Civic Center February 3rd and 4th.
Hey kids, who's the most sought-after weather forecaster? A groundhog, and he's bringing you a chance to win special prizes from Fort Discovery, Hollywood Video, and News 12. Send your most creative drawing of a groundhog, and if it's one of the best, I'll feature it on News 12 this morning and have a chance to win. Send your entries to this address. Hurry before the groundhog makes his move.
Welcome back to the Civic Center. Paul Davis along with my main analyst tonight, the man who hails from Dallas, Texas. I'm calling him Tony, and he knows his stuff. And Tony, right now we're looking at Jennifer Gibson from Wando, South Carolina, aboard Sanjo Olina. She's 14 years old, is Jennifer.
Yes, and she was the 1997 Youth Area Co-Champion here for Area 18. The competitors this evening are competing. As I said earlier in the broadcast, they have earned their way here as being the top 12 competitors in Area 18. In the National Cutting Horse Association, the United States is broken down into 24 separate areas. And so this is a tremendous reward for these youth to be able to compete in such a prestigious event as the Augusta Futurity.
Jennifer has been cutting for 2.5 years, so she's still a baby in the sport, I would say. And I liked what she did with that first cow. I like it, Tony, when you can watch a horse and you pick up an attitude of, I'm superior to you, cow, and I'm showing off tonight. Watch me do my thing.
Well, as you can see, Jennifer is she has a lot of confidence in what she's doing tonight. Her horse is showing a lot of confidence. She's made, oh, that's too bad.
That's what you call a back fence.
Actually, that is failure to separate. That's a 5-point penalty. She failed to hold one cow in the center of the arena and was able to compete on that cow.
Well, I would think, though, that when you get out there and you think you have one in mind, but there's still 3 hanging around, they don't peel off, and then you don't know which one you want.
Well, Jennifer, she had a little indecision. Her horse had, I think he had already made his mind up at the cow that he wanted her to take. And they weren't communicating properly, and then all of a sudden she's out there all alone.
And a 195 score reflects that. So far, our top score tonight from Ashley Nix with a 210 aboard Doctrinaire. If you're just joining us, this is the Area 18 Youth Scholarship Championships, the 12 best point getters in the NCHA setup are here tonight celebrating months and months of hard work, and they will award prize money to the top 5 places tonight. $2,000 to first place. Second place gets $1,000, and then $750 for third, $500 for both fourth and fifth, and they just don't take home money and spend it. It is money that goes into a particular college fund, and when they name the college of their choice, this money is used to further their education, and I love that whole concept. Right now, we've got Drew Minton from Millers Creek, North Carolina, aboard Solid Gold Lena, a 10th grader at West Wilkes High School up there.
And as you watch Drew, this is probably one of the favorites this evening, both as a competitor and the horse that he's riding. The horse that he's riding, Solid Gold Lena, was a former Augusta champion in the any age in 1995, and he has lifetime earnings of over $24,000. As you can see, Drew is entering the herd as quietly as possible.
Yeah, you have to be careful not to disturb the herd, right?
That's correct. And what he's trying to do now is to drive through and select a cow that has not been cut. He wants to cut a fresh cow, one that has not already been worked by a previous competitor.
That is important, and that's where you rely on paying attention to the other performers before you, and you also talk to the turnback men and the herd holders as you approach.
As it appears, he's already selected the one that he wants. Now it's for the turnback men. It's their opportunity now to go to work and clear those other cattle out of the way for Drew.
Again, this is Drew Minton from Millers Creek, North Carolina. He's also on the tennis team up there. He enjoys skiing and paintball. His third year to qualify a reserve champ in '96. That means he took second place, and just this is the battle. This is, and that he decided there that he'd done enough with that cow, so go get another one.
That's correct. When he feels like he's demonstrated his horse to the best of his ability on the first cow, then it's his decision at that time when to go back to select his second cow. It appears also already that Drew has selected a cow, and this is a difficult cut. This is a difficult situation. However, this is a credit-earning situation if he is able to accomplish that.
Of course, you talked about the communication. A rider communicates with his legs primarily, I would think, once you drop the reins.
That's correct, and the horse can feel that body language that is being expressed through the legs of the rider.
Now, I want to be very frank. I have people who suggest to me, how can you get excited about that? But look at this horse right here, staring the cow down, and the cow saying, I don't want any part of you.
Well, as many variables as there are, this is one-on-one competition, and if you have a taste for adrenaline and like that adrenal flow, this you can certainly get it in 2.5 minutes on a cutting horse.
That was Drew Minton. He's a skiing person. He loves paintball. He's a tennis player, and I liked what he just did. Let's see what the judges. Again, the judges are seasoned veterans. They're sequestered during the entire week. They come out of their booths, and we can't talk to them, and I believe that's a 213. So that would be the lead, Tony, huh?
That does take him directly into the lead.
Lachlan McLean's excited. He's down below. Lock, what do you have?
You know, Paul, I'm with the girl who just dropped out of first place and also proof that it doesn't matter how old you are to do well in this competition. It's 10-year-old Ashley Nix. This is your first time here, or what's your impression so far?
Excited.
Now, she's from Barnwell. You do this at home when you normally do it, but here in the Civic Center, you got fans around, you got a big crowd. How's that different atmosphere?
Well, it's different. Odd.
But your horse seemed to adjust. You had a 2:10, which you weren't in first place until that run right there. How do you feel you're going to do in the overall standings when all 12 are done?
Fine.
You do all right? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there's $5,000 up for grabs or $2,000, I should say, up for grabs in scholarship money, and so we wish Ashley best of luck. 10 years old, you know she'll be back here plenty of times. Back to you, Paul.
And I'm sure she'll be more talkative when she gets just a little bit older. This is Kenny Warner now preparing to make, I believe, his first cut into the cattle.
That's correct. 213 is the leader, 210 in second place. Kenny has an excellent opportunity to go straight to the lead with the horse that he's riding this evening.
Kenny's from Burgall, North Carolina. This is Bruder Royale, the horse.
This horse has lifetime earnings of over $23,000. It appears that Kenny is cutting shape, and when that term is used, that means that he is going to cut the last cow in the center of the arena. And that's exactly what he did.
And they like you to move that cow that you've chosen out, away from the herd, and like you said, towards the center.
Well, you want to give yourself, in essence, a cushion. You want to clear away from the herd and give yourself ample opportunity to display that horse to the best of his ability. You want it away from the herd of cattle. The cow's natural instinct is to return to the herd with all of the other cattle.
Now, this sport, as we await now the last cut from him, this sport was born back on the range when this great country, the Great West, was born, and you had to brand particular cattle with different brands, and the cowboys used to do a little bit of wagering as to who could do it quicker or more efficient, huh?
Well, this all comes down to the same type of thing as my dad's bigger and better than your dad. It's my horse is better than your horse. And that's where the competition actually began. But it is from daily ranch work that these horses were born.
Now, Kenny just made a major mistake there.
Yes,
cattle didn't help him out at all.
That was he failed to separate a cow from the herd and to display his horse. And now he's on his third cow. That was another 5-point penalty. So it's going to be a disappointing evening this evening for Kenny.
Kenny's first year in the scholarship cutting, showing some of that tentativeness and maybe the not so much experience that you need to be a champion. I imagine he'll be back next year. Again, he's from Burgall, North Carolina, and his hobbies include hunting, riding horses, water, and snow skiing. And there is your... Again, they get 2.5 minutes. Once they cross the timeline, the timer starts, 2.5 minutes, and it seems like for us that it takes a while, but I guess for the riders it seems like it takes forever. And the score is a 185, a 186, so not exactly what Kenny came here to do tonight. We are getting revved up here in Augusta at the Civic Center, the Area 18 Youth Scholarship Championship. Stay tuned. We guarantee you're going to enjoy the rest of the program back after this.
After 3 long years, the Fantasy 5 are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going...
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
They won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
Stay cool this summer. Drop your anchor at Captain D's and receive a 32-ounce collector's cup full of your favorite Coca-Cola beverage free when you purchase a 3-piece fish dinner at regular price. The food is hot. The cup is cool. Now at participating Captain D's restaurants, get your free 32-ounce to-go cup when you purchase a 3-piece fish dinner. It's cool. Dine in or carry out. The new Captain's Keeper is made to go.
Now one-stop shopping takes on a whole new meaning.
While you're at the marketplace,
Winn-Dixie has everything you need for Sunday's big game. Save $3 a pound on WD brand whole semi-boneless ribeye. Cut into steaks free and just $2.98 a pound. Pick up boneless, skinless chicken breasts for a low $1.98 a pound. And party platters from Winn-Dixie are great for entertaining. Order yours today.
While you're at the marketplace.
Prices are good at Winn-Dixie and Winn-Dixie Marketplace stores.
Welcome back to the Civic Center. Paul Davis along with my main man, Tony, tonight. And Tony, so far, we've seen a couple of good performances and then some not so good performances, and still 5 more performances to see.
Well, tonight, these youth competitors are competing in front of one of the largest crowds that they'll compete in possibly ever in their life. The crowds here are tremendous. The fans are great in Augusta, and they have become very, very knowledgeable of what to expect from cutting competition.
One of the older contestants tonight, riders, this is 17-year-old Elizabeth Gibson. She comes from Wando, obviously South Carolina. Riding tonight, Real Top Doc, a 12th grader at First Baptist in Charleston, South Carolina, a reserve champion at Lower South Carolina CHA in only 4 months of showing. And we've got some real babies to the sport tonight.
Well, she is new to the sport. However, the horse that she's riding is an old pro. This horse has earnings of nearly $100,000 and has been one of the leading horses in competition throughout the United States.
And a pretty rambunctious cow that she has selected to go with here.
I tell you, though, the horse is answering the call here so far.
You want to stay parallel, and then the cow goes down. I haven't seen that.
Once you reach the center of the arena and you cut your first cow, that becomes your line of defense right there. You want to hold your line. You don't want to gain any ground towards the cow and towards the judges' stands or the center of the arena, and then in turn you don't want to have that cow force you back towards the herd. So you want to draw that line and you want to hold that line, and you want to be parallel, just as you said, and mirror image that cow.
Again, once you select the cow, you cut the cow, you let the horse do the work, you drop the reins, and as a rider you do just that. You sit back and enjoy the ride.
Well, for the most part, you want to have the most exciting ride, and certainly one of the more athletic and pronounced rides of the evening if you want to win, and that's exactly what Jennifer's having. Elizabeth is having right now.
Elizabeth.
Oh,
Gibson.
And another lost cow. The cattle are so tough here. That's too bad for her because she had such a great run going. Yeah, she really did.
And the judges, I'm sorry to say, are not very forgiving, are they, Tony?
Well, they are asked to give their subjective opinion based on objective rules. The rules are black and white, and unfortunately, she's going to be a victim of those tonight.
That was Real Top Doc with Elizabeth Gibson in the saddle. And there's the end of the ride. 2.5 minutes is up. And a 193 for Liz tonight. So far, 2:13, the best score by Drew Minton aboard Solid Gold Lena.
Well, he's the leader right now. We have 4 competitors left to compete this evening. Anything can happen. A lot of variables out there.
I want to mention that the Sports Council, the Greater Augusta Sports Council, has come together with the folks that they know in the business community, and they have made it very easy for youth in our community to come tonight and not have to pay the price of admission. I see Chris Scheuer of the Augusta Green Jackets and Paul Gamsby of the brand new hockey team, and that's interesting because they're both competing for that Augusta market dollar, and I'm sure they're going to become big-time friends. We hope to have Mr. Gamsby on to talk about the hockey situation right at the end of the competition tonight, but I want to get back to my point that the Sports Council has sponsored tonight, and we got kids from the Augusta Rec Department and the Special Olympics. They're here as well, courtesy of a number of local businesses who paid for the cost of their admission tonight. Now, the Sports Council will also be throwing prizes to the audience tonight during each cattle change, so that should be interesting. No, Tony, you are not eligible to grab one of those free prizes out of midair.
Well, that's too bad. I'd certainly like to have one this evening.
So congratulations to the Augusta Sports Council, headed up by the one, the only Tammy Stout. Scholarship money up for grabs tonight as we look at Scott Roberson. Brother Ben went earlier and put up a 2:05. Scott aboard Abelina's Little Pep.
And he started off one of the better runs of the evening. Let's hope that he can maintain it.
From Belton, South Carolina, he's 17, a senior in high school. Oh boy, he starts at second base on the varsity baseball team. So if you think these kids are tunnel vision, no, they do other things.
Well, I tell you, some of the better riders that you're going to see, not only in the youth competition, but the non-pro, the amateur, and then in the open competition, are going to be the better athletes. However, anyone that can get astride a horse, they're certainly going to enjoy it, and they're going to be able to be competitive, as there is certainly no advantage in regards to age or sex. So this is actually family competition, and what you're seeing tonight with the youth competitors tonight, these are actually going to be the champions of tomorrow.
And Scott, we were talking about the fact that he's versatile. He plays baseball. He's also already decided that he's going to attend USC in Aiken. So any scholarship money that he would haul in tonight would be earmarked. Look at the horse there. Look at Little Pep. The footwork is what I really enjoy, Tony.
This horse is pretty intense on a cow. I think we may have a new leader here if he can maintain his poise here.
I like your terminology there, intense on the cow.
Okay, what you're going to see now is he's not going to try to drive a large group of cattle out.
Well, he's done two, right?
He's done two.
You don't have to do a third.
That's correct, but it's best for a winning run that you're actually cutting when the buzzer is sounded. And now he's got his third cow cut, and that's exactly what he wanted to do.
Oh, boy.
I think we have a new leader.
Roberson from Belton aboard Abelina's Little Pep, and he's patting that ride on the back and saying, nice job. I
think that's 217.
Our monitor, just a little tough. And ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the best ride of the night so far. So it's Mr. Roberson in first place, and we'll talk about the others when we get back. We're having a blast here at the Civic Center, the 19th Augusta Futurity, one of the oldest horse events in all of the planet. Stay tuned. We've got more in this News 12 Sports exclusive after this.
Lipinski, the youngest world champion in history. Now the feisty 15-year-old goes for the knockout in Nagano. She has 82 pounds of guts and grit. Even so, she's taking along her secret weapon.
This is my good luck necklace, and I never take it off. It has all my special charms from everybody that's really close to me. And when I go out to skate, it's always there.
One of her charms says short but good. Good enough for gold. The Olympic Winter Games return to CBS.
Share a moment with the world.
After 3 long years, the Fantasy 5 are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going...
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
They won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
Performance Plus Transmission on Washington Road, Martinez recommends having your transmission serviced every 12,000 miles or once every year to keep your car running smoothly. Performance Plus, where they specialize in foreign and domestic vehicles, 4x4s, front-wheel drive, and clutches. Performance Plus Transmission will fully service your transmission, including changing the fluid, checking the pressure, and replacing the pan gasket. All just $39.95. That's world-class service at local prices. Remember, Performance Plus Transmission for the best service at the best price with the best guarantee in Augusta.
Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on Steve Warnell. Tony just told me, Paul, we've got to get out of the commercials because this kid is good.
This may be the best horse competing tonight. That's going to be a judge's decision there. That was tough.
Something here, though. This is Steve Warnell from Estill, and a change in horses. He's aboard Heidi's Tumbleweed, was supposed to be aboard Heidi's Golden Girl, but his daddy, Steve's father, is going to perform on Heidi's Golden Girl tonight in the $20,000 amateur finals, right?
That's correct.
So they decided to come up with this Tumbleweed horse, and so maybe they're not used to each other.
Well, if they're not, they're certainly having a good run so far. Now that last quit, and when I say quit, that was when he stopped working his first cow. That's going to be a judge's decision, because you would prefer to see a cutter when he decides to quit, that it's his decision and not, in essence, be forced to quit and stop working that cow. He's a little on the run now, and he got a little behind, and
well, that was a
loss.
Cow.
That was a loss of working advantage. That is a true loss of working advantage, where on the left side of the arena, to his left, Steve's left, he went past the cow, and then he had to chase across the arena trying to catch up, and then obviously he was not able to make up the distance.
Steve Warnell from Estill, 16. He's a sophomore in high school in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And there is the buzzer. And it'll be interesting, although I'm not so sure we're expecting a tremendous score. I guess we jinxed him, Tony, by saying how we felt like 192. 192 from the man from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. So maybe next year for him. Lachlan McLean is standing by live with his Stetson. He had it pressed and cleaned before airtime. Lach, take it away.
Well, if you look closely at this, you can see that it is not pressed and cleaned. I, in fact, borrowed it from you, and it is in bad shape, and shame on you. But anyway, let's get to the action. We're with the guy who's in first place right now, Scott Roberson from Belton, South Carolina, a 2:17. Got to feel good about that.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great ride. I just want to thank Massey for letting me ride her. Name's Abilene's Little Pep. Been riding her all year. Tied my brother for the area. It's just a great horse. I love her.
Now, how much, they were talking upstairs, how much of it is the rider and how much of it is the horse that goes into a good run?
Kind of equal, just kind of equals out. Kind of help your horse out and everything.
What about the atmosphere here? It's very different from where you normally cut. You got the crowd, you got this sort of big setting. How is that different for you?
It's just a little nerve-wracking, but after you get down there, it's all right.
All right, well, we got 2 more to go, and if his score holds, he'll have $2,000 in scholarship money. It's Scott Roberson, and let's go back to you, Paul.
Well, Lachlan McLean is last year on this telecast after blowing my cover and telling the truth about the cowboy hat. See if I ever lend him anything ever again. Lindsey Durr. This is Lindsey Durr. And Tony, help me. Decidedly's Lil
Haida.
Decidedly's
Lil Haida has lifetime earnings of over $85,000 in NCHA competition. That is both in the aged events, which are events that are age limited for horses that are 4, 5, and 6 years old, which is what goes on here in Augusta. However, the Atlantic Coast Cutting Horse Association has added events for the older horses to compete in, such as the 20,000 amateur and the 50,000 amateur, that will be seen later this evening and then later next week.
Of course, the Futurity runs all the way through next Saturday evening. Plenty of tickets available. And again, this is Lindsey Durr. She comes from St. George, South Carolina, 15 years old. Hobbies include she loves to ride four-wheelers, hunt. She likes to hunt, and she spends time with her dogs and going out with her family and friends. And she's also a trainer, is this little lady, for the varsity football team, and she plays softball. So you talk about versatility, there it is.
She's got it. If she likes to hunt, I think her horse does too, because that's exactly what her horse was doing, was hunting cattle. She's got a good run started. We might have another leader here. This is a possibility. Only 2 left to go. Unfortunately, tonight it appears that the cattle have been the winners.
Explain that. I mean,
well, it's unfortunate when the cattle are so tough that the competitors may not have a fair advantage to be able to show and to have their horse to the very best of its ability. Now she's had a little problem here with a cow that has run away out of the herd and joined her cow in the center of the arena.
Next Saturday night is the big night here. The finals next week. Tickets for viewers who want to come watch, $15.50 for the adults. Kids 12 and under, just $5. Mind you, next Saturday, no general admission seating. From today through Friday, as far as general admission seats, adults $5, 12 and under kids just $2. So if you're looking for an affordable event to take in this week, this would be a great opportunity. So Lindsey Durr wrapping up. Not a great show
Well, that was unfortunate for Lindsay that she had the things that happened to her. A lot of pressure on these young kids, a 15-year-old. As I said, she's in front of one of probably the largest crowds she's ever shown a horse in front of before, and that does add to the pressure, in addition to being the scholarships that are available for them to compete for this evening.
That was her score of a 190. We'll be back with more after this.
After 3 long years, the Fantasy 5 are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going,
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
they won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
It's time for a change. Because this isn't a cold. It's a siege. Last night, single nostril breathing. First the left was clogged, then the right. Why does it switch? So I tried these, but I was still up coughing. Finally, I got some sleep at my desk. I'm trying NyQuil.
Vicks NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
You're my new best friend.
Just kidding.
Oh, hey, by the way, while you're at the marketplace, get some of that delicious stuff we had last night. A deli snack for lunch, you know my appetite. My prescription needs refilling, get the pictures from the trip. Some flowers for my sister and stuff for party dip. You can save more than money, you can save time too. That puts a smile on your face, yeah. While you're at the marketplace, Winn-Dixie Marketplace. Isn't life delicious?
Back to live action, the Civic Center in Augusta, the Area 18U Scholarship Championship night. This is Monty Nix having just done a wonderful job, having taken care of his first cut from the herd. And if you're wondering, is this a young whippersnapper? Sure. Monty Nix from Barnwell is only 13, Tony.
13 years old, but he's demonstrating some of the skills of someone much his elder this evening. The first cow was a nice clean cut in the center of the arena. He held the cow. He really demonstrated his horse. He's driving through the cattle now to make his second cut. Also here again, he wants to make it quietly in the center of the arena, under control. Cut a nice cut of shape, nice, and now he's just letting his horse do his thing. Let his horse go to work. This is his third year to participate here in the Area 18 Youth Scholarship Cutting. So he's actually, although he's only 13, he's an old pro at it here at Augusta.
Well, you know, I think sometimes the younger you are, the more guts you have. You're not afraid of taking chances.
Well,
Our second person from Barnwell tonight is Monty. And it's great to have some of the kids who call this neck of the woods home on the telecast. Third year participating in the Youth Championship final, so Monty Nix has already had a pretty good career.
Right then he had to wait for that cow to turn away from him so that he could legally quit without penalty. Had he stopped or disengaged working with that cow while that cow was facing him, that would have been a 3-point penalty, so he did the wise thing.
That's Monty Nix from Barnwell. Monty Nix from Barnwell. I know all the viewers back in Barnwell County anxious to hear his score, see what he did, the 13-year-old. Good applause for the youngster. 2:13.5, is that right?
2:13.5. That is unofficially second place.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. He may have taken second place on that. We'll be back to wrap all this up and talk hockey after this. Stay tuned.
After 3 long years, the Fantasy 5 are still riding the range. From one end of the state to the other, 6 days a week. Delivering huge all-cash payouts as big as $760,000. And the way things are going,
You said turn left at the pine tree.
Did not.
Did too.
they won't be finished anytime too soon.
That ain't no pine tree. Shut up.
Have you seen News 12 this morning lately? Tune in weekday mornings at 6 and 7 for all the news and weather you need to start your day. Also, get the latest traffic reports. Find out what your kids are eating for lunch. And celebrate your birthday with News 12. Plus, helpful tips from Working Mom on the Run and The Legal Edge. So come on, join the Breakfast Club. News 12 this morning. Weekday mornings at 6 and 7 on your news station.
We're back at the Augusta Civic Center. Paul Davis joined by some other new folks here up on the podium as we wait to hear the final results in the Area 18U Scholarship. We know that Scott Roberson of Belton, South Carolina, aboard Abilene Little Pep, will take first place with a score of 217. We're also waiting to hear about second place, and it looked like Monty Nix from South Carolina's Barnwell with a 213.5 will just edge Drew Minton with a 213. Lachlan McLean has got some folks who are excited to talk on television, talk about their performances. Lach, take it away, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul. Some interesting quirks with these scoring coming down to the last rider. You had a 213, and it looks like Monty got a 213.5, so you're going to come in third by a half, but tell me about your experience tonight. This, by the way, folks, I'm sorry, is Drew Minton from Millers Creek, North Carolina.
It was all right, but the cows were pushy, and it was real hard to get them out.
Yeah, they were saying, our analysts up there, that the cow were really tough here. Is it tougher than the ones you're used to?
Yeah, they were real wanting to get back in the herd a lot, and they were real pushing on the horse. But other than that, it went well.
Okay, well, that's Drew Minton. Looks like he'll pick up $750 in scholarship money for a third-place finish by half a point. Congratulations. And let's talk to the guy who's in second place. We make our way over to Monty Nix, the last run of the night, and you come in with, it looks like a second-place finish. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Well, tell me about the atmosphere here. I mean, is this the first time you've cut here in Augusta?
No, this is my third time.
So you're just a regular veteran here. Tell me about your run. Did it go the way you wanted it to?
No, not exactly. I made a little mistake that cost me the show, but maybe next time.
But you got to be happy to be look like you're in second place. Obviously, nothing's official till they review the tape and everything. But if that's true, it'll be $1,000 in scholarship money. You can really accumulate funds towards your college career doing this sport, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's Monty Nix, and you just saw his run on the board, Paul. And so we just talked to first, second, and third. Let's go back up to you.
Locke, thank you very much. And a special guest now, Mr. Paul Gamsby. He is the brand new general manager of the, well, I guess the Raleigh Ice Caps, but not the Raleigh Ice Caps, the Augusta Wind maybe, or the Augusta Lynx, we don't know. Paul, welcome to town. I know you're anxious to talk about season tickets for the hockey team.
Absolutely. We've went on sale Wednesday, and we've been really surprised at the turnout so early. We're pleased with the without any advertising, just people walking in off the street. We're at the Bell Auditorium Monday through Friday, and it's been going very, very well.
Have you ever been to a horse cutting event in your life?
I have to be honest, no, I haven't.
And what'd you think?
I think it's interesting. I got the gist of it already. It didn't take too long to figure it out. I'm sure I don't know all the rules, but I think hockey is a little less complicated, quite frankly.
Well, I know it is. Were you sitting here with your wife and Pat Comiskey, daydreaming from futurity, from barrel horse racing to ice hockey down here?
I was thinking of ice hockey. I was looking out on this arena and hoping that someday soon we can see the players going out there, and I hope they can do the wind sprints like these horses. I'll tell you, I'm pretty impressed the way they go left to right.
All right, so thank you very much, Paul. I know you waited a little bit for me to get you on the show. If you're a person at home and you want to get involved with the hockey, get a season ticket, you should tell them it's not going to break the bank.
It's not going to break the bank. We're going to have 35 home games, very exciting. And our number you can call Monday through Friday or Saturday, 10 to 4. 9 to 5 weekdays, 10 to 4, and 7 to 4 for ice. And we'll give you the information on hockey. It's 35 home games, and it won't break the bank.
Paul, let me steal that microphone from you, get a handshake, and wish you the best, and we'll be in touch in the days ahead. Another guy we want to get on the program tonight, and a man here. Go ahead, Pete.
Thank you, Paul.
This is Pete. We're over here, and this is Pete May. and he is the official show manager of the Augusta Futurity, and he has been with this program
19 years.
1980.
Yep.
And I loved what you told me about what it was like that first year.
Oh, it was a train wreck the first year. We tried hard, but we didn't know what we were doing, and but somehow we got through it, and the Cutters came back because we were nice people and nice people only. It wasn't because of our show expertise the first year.
Well, let's get some facts in. That first year, 1980, 19 years ago, it was just a 2.5-day event.
That's right, 2.5 days. It happened so quick we didn't even realize what had happened, what hit us.
And it didn't go well, you were telling me.
Didn't go well. We really didn't know what to do for these cowboys. We brought in some cattle as best we could. We put cracker box stalls out there to house the horses. They didn't want to put them in them. The trains were running. They were afraid of the trains. Everything we did seemed to go backwards, but somehow we gave them a lot of warm southern hospitality, and they said, we'll give you one more chance. And since that point in time, we've had nothing but an uptick.
Well, you've said that a couple of times in a couple of different ways, but I want to say it this way. The people came back in 1981 just to be kind.
Just to be kind, you're right. And that's all I can say. They were just kind to us.
97 entries, just 97 entries, only $120,000 in prize money in 1980-81, and then you come all the way up to 1998, and oh, how things have changed.
Over $500,000 in prize money, well over 500 entries. Wouldn't you like to have a business with that kind of growth?
Yeah.
We're happy.
Well, congratulations, Pete. You do a good bang-up job every year. News 12 once again proud, and the rest of the week should be a real blast.
As they say in the West, a rip snorter. We're going to have a good week.
Luckily, Billy Morris is not watching the telecast tonight. He's here in the arena taking it all in person. But congratulations to your staff. A job well done, and we got a whole week ahead of us. We know it's going to be great. The finals night is next Saturday.
Saturday night.
The Futurity Open and the Classic, I believe, and there's general admission. No, there's no general admission.
No general admission on finals night, and the tickets, probably got 25% of the tickets left, but if you better get them before Monday or Tuesday because they're going fast.
All right, Pete, thank you very much, and thank you at home for giving the Futurity a chance this year. Again, News 12 proud to be for a 6th consecutive year the official television station of this great big-time sporting event, and we hope you come out this week and take in some of the fun. For Chief Engineer Brian Zitlau and his staff, News Director Brian Trowering, my right-hand man, Lachlan McLean, Bonita Pitts, our floor director, and everybody downstairs in the production crew. Paul Davis saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you out here in the arena. Good night, everybody.
News 12's special live presentation of the 1998 Augusta Futurity. Brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. The most fun a dollar can buy.
One of the best things you can invest in is your home, but sometimes we think it would cost a fortune to create a look we want. At General Freight Furniture, we've made great furniture affordable. You save every day on brand name furniture for any room. Sofas in the latest decorative fabrics, solid wood bedroom and dining, mattress sets, leather, even home office computer furniture.